everybody. Welcome back to another episode of You Haven't Seen That Podcast, or YHST for short. I'm Isaac.
I'm Elva.
And this is a show where we cover movies on the growing list of films that has people asking us a question. You haven't seen that? I'm going to give full disclosure. It's like one of the later sessions that we've done. It's we're coming off of the end of the 4th of July weekend. Hope everyone had a safe and fun weekend and is recovering from, the over drinking. Is there such a thing? We treated our bodies good the other day.
I don't know what that is.
Did you have anything? You had like a sip of my beer.
I didn't have, besides like a sip or two, I didn't have anything.
Okay. All right. Don't need to be higher than thou. We have one movie that we're talking about today, and that is Jurassic World Rebirth. We did not get a chance to see any other movie, but I'm actually happy that we're just doing the one movie because there's a lot to talk about, and we will get into it. But starting from the top, as always, if you are new to the show, welcome, and let us know how you found us. It's always nice to have newcomers. And you can also follow us on social media at
YHSTPod
on Instagram and TikTok, and YouTube. And YouTube. Always forget about that. And YouTube. On those places, please, if you can do us a favor and support us by liking and sharing and telling other people about us. Do not keep us your dirty little dumb secret. I really think highly of ourselves. But yeah, if you can comment on the thing, we could be part of the bigger conversation, because yes, it's just us two, but I really do enjoy hearing what everyone else thinks about all the movies and what they like, what they hate, their favorite things. Like, it's, movies are so big in our worlds and our lives, and I like hearing what resonates with people. But anyhow, if you can't do that and you want to support us in a monetary fashion, well, you can go ahead and do that on Venmo at
YHSTPod.
Look at that, YHSTPod, and all the places, because we make it simple to find. Set it and forget it. Mm-hmm. I felt like I needed some kind of commercial zinger or something like that.
Set it and forget it.
So we don't have any news. Oh, reminder too, if you go on our social medias, you can also keep up to date with any news that we might have put out there in a video form. Again, also with the social media, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, or maybe you just want a more, snack size, bite size, spoiler free version of our movie reviews, you can do that on the social medias at YHSTPod, as she had mentioned before. And YHSTPod. And so in those places, we will not spoil stuff. And I mentioned that because this is one of our first movies where I think we're going to spoil the hell out of it. So, giant spoiler warning, Jurassic World Rebirth. No news up front. We're diving right into this movie. So, warning, spoilers. Alva, do you want to start off with this movie? Go ahead and hit us with a synopsis.
5 years post-Jurassic World Dominion, an expedition braves isolated equatorial regions to extract DNA from 3 massive prehistoric creatures for a groundbreaking medical breakthrough.
What a pro. The movie is very straightforward. As far as the storyline, there's nothing fancy to it. And I'm gonna get into that in just a second, but more of a kind of a technical breakdown setup, kind of like how we usually do with our regular YHST list movie breakdowns. This is directed by Gareth Edwards, and this is the thing that got my butt in the movie seats. And I kind of feel, I'm gonna jump the gun on it. I feel bad for him because this movie, right off the bat, a little bit disappointing. I didn't hate it, but it's a little bit disappointing. Obviously, we're going to get into that. Gareth Edwards has given us great movies like The Creator, Rogue One, and Godzilla, just to name an amazing few. It makes sense that they would give him a big franchise movie like this. This is kind of considered a soft reboot because we do not have any of the old actors or characters from any of the previous 6 Jurassic Park movies. And that's very significant because there is, I guess you would say, like a tonal shift with this movie, which I like, especially coming off of basically a direct sequel from Jurassic World Dominion, which didn't really do good. In fact, it was the worst rated movie. And we had just recently watched that today because I wasn't planning on seeing that movie. It is such a difference going straight from Dominion into watching Rebirth, which we didn't before. We just went straight to Rebirth. And it does show you like the bar is significantly low. So coming off of that, not a bad movie, But if you skipped all the Jurassic Worlds and everything like that, this movie's a little bit jarring. It's written by David Koepp. He co-wrote the original Jurassic Park. He also has some other impressive movies on his list. Some of them worth mentioning. Mission Impossible, he co-wrote. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, he co-wrote. And he was a standalone writer for one of the recent movies that we covered, Presence, where it's from the point of view of the ghost.
Didn't he also do Indiana Jones, like one of the Indiana Jones?
Yes, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. He co-wrote that one. So a lot of like the bigger movies that have been culturally significant, including but not limited to Jurassic Park and Mission Impossible, he wasn't the standalone writer on those. And I feel like maybe that has something to do with it, because I personally had a problem with the writing in this movie. It's not a terrible script, but it just felt like there was 2 drafts, and then they said yes. Like, what? No. Which draft? No, yes. Let's
combine. It's like when you're doing a paper and you have it due the next day, but you're too tired to pick which one and what. So you go 2 different ways and just combine them into a damn sandwich. And somehow you pass this class because it's the final, and you have 2 different things, and somehow you would just pass. That's fine. But I feel like we're not in the age of dinosaurs. Like, that's not like something that is holding people's interest right now.
100%. And the Jurassic World movies, when they started that series of trilogy back in 2015 with Chris Pratt, they focused on that, right? How finally, in case anyone's not familiar, by the way, the Jurassic World movies focus on what if they finally got the Jurassic Parks up and running. Mm-hmm. No more of that, all that bullshit research and everything like that, although there is some focus on militarization as it goes. But it's a successful park. It's been running for years. And then there's a point in that movie or in the series where, because something is normalized, then people want the newer, bigger, best thing. And so the movies then strive into going into creating hybrids and making a bigger, badder dinosaur. And we still kind of continue with this movie. We kind of continue with that same frame of thought, but we bring it into a smaller scope, specifically coming off of Dominion, which was dinosaurs now living around the world. It's normal. It's like the Triceratops running along with the elephants, and the Brontosauruses running along with giraffes, and so on and so forth. Like, you get it, right? Mm-hmm. Ecologically, that's impossible. And
in this economy, we cannot afford.
I'm kind of happy, though, by the way, that they sort of retcon this, thus a soft reboot. So the movie initially opens with the scene that I'll get into in a second, but it then talks about how the dinosaurs are starting to die off because, they can't live in this world anymore. Scientifically, if you're a big, giant lizard creature, you're going to need high levels of oxygen. You're going to need a big food source and
warmth.
And the world just isn't going to sustain that. And they sort of, David Koepp, as he's writing this, figure that the fuck out. And so the dinosaurs, again, spoiler alert, are dying off. And I was like, cool, I'm okay with that. Because after watching Dominion, I was like, okay.
Also, I realized that I relate to the dinosaurs in this movie more than anything because they're looking for warmth. And I am always looking for warmth. I'm a cold person.
You're my big, tall dinosaur.
Summertime, what do I always have? Like a blanket on me? Like, it doesn't matter. It's just like, I feel like I need to go to the equator and to visit those islands there, see how warm it is.
Are you kidding me? You would hate that. You're funny like that, where it's like if it's a couple degrees too warm, you're complaining about it. A couple degrees too cold, you're shivering. You're like this tall chihuahua.
It's true. There you go, Chihuahua land.
The actors. Let's see. A lot of these actors are gonna get people in those movie seats. I know it did with me when they first announced this. I was excited that Scarlett Johansson was in a Jurassic Park movie, as well as Mahershala Ali, and then Jonathan Bailey. We're coming off of the success of Wicked, and Rupert Friend, he's been in a few other things. He's been in Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was the Inquisitor. He was Mr. Wickham in Pride and Prejudice. Like he's been around for a minute. These are good actors. They did a really good job with the writing, with the story and the dialogue and the character bio, if you will, that they had. They did their darndest. Although I love me some ScarJo, but I felt like she mailed it in.
I think so too. Like the actors were good. Here's the thing. I didn't know much what was going on with who, other than like Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. I didn't know anybody else who was going to be in this movie because that's how they marketed, just with Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. That was the whole marketing thing that you saw. You didn't see any Rupert Friend or any Mahershala Ali or anything like that, or any even of the kids or anything like that, or any of the other side characters. You just saw Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and his damn slutty glasses. But
I'm sorry, did you say his slutty glasses?
Yeah, slutty glasses, man. Get with the program. But besides all that, I really wasn't expecting another Jurassic World Park movie. I wasn't expecting another dinosaur movie. I wasn't expecting this cast because you have a good cast. So it felt like they already knew this wasn't going to be it. So they had to put people who were going to get people in the seats.
It's like it felt desperate.
Yeah. It's like that desperate ex that's trying to get back with the other one. And then it's like, it doesn't really work out.
Yeah.
That's how it felt to me. Besides, of course, seeing the dinosaurs a little bit and seeing where it was going to go. But that's about it.
And thanks to this movie, by the way, this now makes Scarlett Johansson the highest grossing actor of all time.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, like, you know, this maybe isn't the best movie to exploit or illustrate Scarlett Johansson's acting ability. She wasn't terrible in it, but it just felt really mailed in. It's one of those things where actors just go like, okay, let's turn on the charm. People are going to love us. We're good. What do I have to say? Cool. Line? Great. Where's my mark? Great. Cool. Mm-hmm. Pretty straightforward stuff. But Gareth Edwards was the thing that got me to go see this movie because of all the aforementioned movies on his docket. This looks like a Gareth Edwards movie. There's one movie earlier on his resume called Monsters, more of like a indie film, or if you will. Mm-hmm. But it's one of his first movies that I think kind of got him into doing Godzilla, or they tapped him for Godzilla, because he's great at shooting big creatures, right? So the scope of those creatures look intense and immense and everything. And that still translates into this film. The feel of the landscape and everything. Like when we were watching Dominion, dude, how many times did I go like, Jesus, that's such a bad set. That's supposed to be a forest. That's a bad set. We don't feel like we're outdoors. This movie feels like they were shot on location. It feels like they're in the jungle.
Oh, 100% sure. Yeah.
You feel the ickiness of
the humidity.
Yeah, I was going to say,
seat on the skin.
This goes to show you that I don't really get out much. I was going to say the ickiness of nature.
I know your humidity. Yeah. There are certain scenes you can tell, like their shine, their glow is actually like something you would get from being in a humid climate.
Yeah.
And there, of course, you can tell which scenes where they're in a set and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Because they're trying to recreate like that sheen, but I'm like, you can't get that sheen, a natural sheen, and duplicate it and make it look natural without it being a little bit, you know.
See, I have the eye for CG and visual effects and all those things. Alva's like, I'm the sheen master. They got no sheen. They're on a goddamn set.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's go with that. Yeah.
Let's start from the very, very beginning of this movie. Like I said before, there's a genre shift, you know, back into the original Jurassic Park being this like survival movie. A lot of them, the Jurassic Parks are survival movies, but like especially with Dominion, it felt like this bigger adventure, action-packed thing. And movies, the big franchises like this, they've done that before. And, you know, they'll originally be horror, then they'll switch to sci-fi, then they'll switch to being a military movie, and so on and so forth. So it's not, I don't fault it for doing that, but I think personally, the magic of a Jurassic Park is in that, you know, we are the only humans on this island with this creature. It's a creature feature.
Creature feature. Where'd you get your features?
Well, they got those features from DNA from a mosquito blood, or whatever it is. The mosquito trapped in amber. You got no goddamn.
At least a mosquito made an appearance.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, did. A mosquito, not the mosquito.
The very beginning of the movie does open up straight up like a horror film, complete with, you know, open the door and the big monster in the back. I have a fucking problem with this movie and so many of the scenes. My biggest problem of the movie, and like immediately it pissed me off. And I was like, I tried. By the way, everyone listening, it's still a fun movie. It's a popcorn movie, right? It's not a cinematic masterpiece like the original Jurassic Park. So like, I know I'm hating on it, but it just I wanted so much better for it. Okay. That's what it feels like and sounds like when I have a love for a franchise. My problem with it right off the bat was this candy wrapper happens to just make its way into this scene. Thank you, lazy scientist. And then gets sucked into one of the high-tech doors and then shorts the door out, which causes the whole systems to reboot. What a dumb, forced fucking thing. Pissed me off right from the get-go.
But Isaac, he's not him when he's hungry. Grab a Snickers. And that's what the door did. It grabbed the Snickers.
Fucking D-Rex. So that, right from there, I was like, really? Oh, God. And by the way, it kept all of my willpower to like tap you and look at you and go like, oh, really?
I just looked at you. I just grabbed you and was like, hey, there's not.
There were so many eye-rolling moments where I'm like, damn it, you guys. You do better, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's, the thing is like, it's really obvious shit that is just, like, if this was screen, I felt like somebody would have been like, I wish that somebody like me was in there going, hey, yeah, can I write some notes? Could you not do these really obviously like eye-rolly, hateful things? The Jurassic Park deserves much better than that.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't even have a problem with that. I'm just like, it's fine. It's whatever. Let's just go.
Yeah, you say that with all the excitement right now.
That's why I said like, it really didn't bug me. I think I was just there for the dinosaurs. Why did I say that with an accent?
Yeah, I said it with the dinosaurs.
I'm there for the dinosaurs.
Okay, let's talk about the dinosaurs then. Mm-hmm. The movies are going down the direction of hybrids and bigger, badder monsters, right? Mm-hmm. This one does the same thing, but they're mutant dinosaurs. The difference between that and a hybrid is the hybrids are nice and intact and they look like a dinosaur just with, you know, kind of cooler features. These straight up look like mutations. You know, and so our big bad dinosaur called the D-Rex, it looks like a combination of, you know, like a T-Rex and a xenomorph and what is a Balrog from Star Wars. Like it is a combination of sci-fi looking things. It really does not look like a dinosaur.
That was a big one at the end, right?
Yeah.
That one looked like if you combined a T-Rex with the alien from Alien. And
just said that. Yeah. Called a xenomorph.
There you go. I'm sorry about stuff. That. I don't know my stuff. That's why we have a movie podcast.
You're fired.
I wasn't getting paid. There's no payment for this. I've never received any money of this donations.
But it's like how many mutations is it going to take for these things to then evolve into like a fucking kaiju, into like the next Godzilla? What's next? A gorilla? Like how close are we to doing that? You know what I mean? I want them to reel it the fuck in and figure out how to. Actually, I was about to say I want them to figure it out how to make it into like, you know, what we love, the Jurassic Park survival thing. I think that this franchise might be tired out. Leave it alone. Leave it, which they won't.
I will smack the next person who touches this franchise. Just smack it. Like, I don't need mutated dinosaurs. Here's the thing. Keep the dinosaurs as it is. Second, humans are already fucking up everything.
Yeah.
There it is. You don't need to show it in a movie. We already know it. That's why we go into movies, to forget real life.
Which we have that line from Jonathan Bailey at one point where he's talking with the obvious corporate douchebag that, you know, kind of turns villain unnecessarily at a certain point in the movie.
And not even a good villain.
No, not a great villain. A forgettable villain. But like those things spoken, like he's basically kind of like the, he's like Jonathan Bailey's character is a little bit a combo of like Alan Grant and Ian Malcolm, right? In the original Jurassic Parks, where he's basically telling you like, look, human beings are fucking everything up, which is like, yeah, no, I know. I don't need that message in the movie. I get it. I fucking get it. Like all of these Jurassic Park movies are that big message. Like, hey, don't fuck with everything. No need to play God. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the characters. They weren't believable from a writing standpoint. Mm-mm. In any kind of horror movie, I've said this a million times and I shall say it again, you need to care about the characters if stuff's going to happen to them. And then you also need to have the balls to unalive them. You need to off them. Don't rely on what we call the red shirts. The obvious people that aren't big actors that are on the ship, except the one guy that was in Deadpool and Game of Thrones, and you kill people off. Like that is so obviously like, oh, they don't seem important. Let's just go ahead and kill them off because our big tentpole characters, basically the Johansson, the Mahershala Ali, the Bailey, we're not going to kill them.
Yeah.
But there were some moments where I was like, dude, if this movie had any fucking balls, which it does not, because there's plot armor for all of our important characters. If this movie had balls, they'd kill the little girl. They would kill the little girl in this. I really wanted them to fucking go and do it.
The way that I rewrote this movie at the end, and I was just like, that just made more sense to me, because you're going to be going here and someone mysteriously has big pockets and it's going to, like, you know, is sending you into this very dangerous, very, you may go to jail kind of thing situation. At the end, you bring back a dinosaur and I'm just like, but he's just a regular person. He's just a regular person. That's it. There's no. You could have made him into like the big scientist that's actually wanting to do all this stuff. That's sending you, and then boom. That at the end of the movie, that's who he is.
For context, what she's talking about is the corporate douchebag played by
Rupert Friend.
Rupert Friend. In the beginning, he seems like the movie basically opens up with him. I enjoyed the dynamic between him hiring Scarlett Johansson, who's a mercenary, and then her hiring her friend, who is also a mercenary. Like that
They're all
dynamic.
mercenaries.
Most of them, except for him, he's just a corporate douchebag, and then except for the very forced-in family. But like their character dynamic, it was nice, and then it just shifted, and I was like, no, don't abandon that, and fill the need to find a villain. So yeah, then the movie then abandons like that kind of character setup, and then feels the need to force itself. I feel forced in so many ways to go into a more movie trope direction. But then earlier, what you were talking about with the dinosaur, like I said in the beginning, they established that the dinosaurs are dying off because they cannot live in the regular world, not enough oxygen, not enough food source, it's too cold, et cetera, et cetera. And then at the very end, the little girl brings home a little pet dinosaur. You're like, but you pretty fastly established that it's gonna die off
because it helps her cope and to speak. Get her a stuffed animal, please.
Let's talk about the family. Fuck me.
Okay.
I was on board with this movie for the most part with the whole mercenary thing. Okay, let's go. It's totally fine. This is the movie. Great. And then we cut to the next scene and there is a sailboat. And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, you guys better not out of fucking nowhere introduce this whole different group of people that will have absolutely nothing to do with the current storyline, which is the family. It's a father, two daughters. One is in her 20s. One is like 10 years old. And the older daughter's boyfriend. Fucking hated the daughter's boyfriend, which he's supposed to be hated.
Not enough.
He had this like redemption arc that was very quickly abandoned. There was moments where him and the dad are kind of bonding. You know, they're getting to know one another after way too many annoying scenes where it's like, motherfucker, you're gonna get killed the hell off. There's like there was 4 moments where he should have gotten killed off, and then comic relief, ha 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 ha. Dude, you need to die now. It would have been funny and ballsy for you to die. There was no reason for you to be there.
They could have killed him off multiple times. They set it up. But here's the thing. They didn't have the balls to kill anybody off in this thing. And that's why it kind of feel like it didn't give me like, these are dinosaurs. It's most like, nah. It's like, you know, when a cat's playing with a toy, you're going to be the toy.
Right, yeah.
It's like, no, how about make it when they're hunting for food? Since they're in their habitat at this moment, they should not be surviving all these things.
No.
They should not be, like, these creatures are nowhere near even like a 5'11" or whatever height they are.
Yeah.
Multiple times the boyfriend could have died. Multiple times a little girl could have died. Multiple times any of those could have died. Of course, you have to have a little bit of like movie magic and somehow,
but that's that plot armor I was talking about.
Yeah.
You know? Where you look at it and you go like, whoa, okay. And then the many times that they fall on the trope of the dinosaurs are nipping at their toes. Ooh, they almost got their foot bitten off, but they're main characters, so let's not harm them at all. In fact, no scratches on them.
Yeah. I'm just like, okay.
But
sure.
So the thing with this family, and then it opening up with them sailing, is it was established that they cannot. It is a very, very illegal for them to sail in these waters because it's all occupied by dinosaurs. Thus, in order to not kill anybody, for anybody to not die, it's very illegal to go there. Mm-hmm. Why is the dad sailing in these very obvious illegal open waters? Well, there's a line where he goes, "Well, I've done it all the time. Illegally? You've taken your kids and the boyfriend."
The whole thing, I think he was sailing from like Cape Cod to like an island because it's before the daughter goes to university or something. It's like their last hurrah. And I'm just like, I understand what he said. Like, we've done this multiple times and this never happened. But it also goes into in the beginning when they're talking about like this species here only circles this island and doesn't go further than this. But it also goes with the dinosaurs are dying. So now they're expanding from where they're circling, where they would usually be.
You are so kind to this movie to try to explain it away. I still hated it. I still very much hated it.
I don't know. It's just me.
It's very sweet of you. You know, this movie has you at its back. I'm attacking it at its front.
I got its movies back, but apparently I don't have its front.
But tell me about the family.
The little girl looked like a Dora with their little backpack. She kind of annoyed me halfway through. I'm just like, just kill her off already. And also, I think I didn't like the sister of it as well. Those two can go. He's fine. He's going to get blamed anyways by his ex-wife because somehow they made a comment where he's like, Mom's not going to let you take us out anymore or whatever. Just go kill him off already. Just give him one last thing to worry about. The dad, I felt like he was missing his balls.
Oh,
to be honest. He was too passive in certain moments where I felt like he could have been more aggressive, more fatherly, more like Papa Bear. But whereas like that anger that you're supposed to feel that they put your children in danger.
Yeah, especially if you're someone who's like regularly sails. That ain't easy.
I understand like maybe the boat, capsizing and everything, like it happens. But like the fact that you go on this thing and then you're not asking him like, no, take us to the nearest island, take us to the nearest port. You're not being forceful enough to be like, just drop us off. These are my kids, even include the boyfriend in there. Like, these are my responsibilities.
See, I would have loved this movie if the focus was on either one of the parties, right? Either this movie was just him doing a sailing and then getting stranded on the island. There's a whole thing there. Also, I would have loved the boyfriend having been recast. I don't know who would have played him, but just a fucking total recast. It was a complete misfire. If you're going to have a movie about these guys, do that. If you're going to have a movie about the mercenaries, do that. Don't mash these things two together because in the end, the whole runtime of the movie was 2 hours and 14 minutes and it felt
like 3 hours.
It felt like 3 hours and that ain't a good thing. You could have cut at least 30 minutes, 45 minutes of the movie specifically from the whole family thing.
Like, I understand he's injured. After a certain point, he gets injured and that's fine. So then the daughter's boyfriend kind of takes over a little bit. But even then, like, you could have made his little story arc a little bit more.
And that's what I'm saying. There's moments where the boyfriend's coming around. He's discovering that he is a lazy douchebag. And
I do appreciate that he knows that he's lazy.
But then the beat right after is he just brushes it off. And that moment goes away completely.
Yeah, because he's a pothead.
No, I know what he is. But I'm saying if you're going to go down that road of having this boyfriend figuring himself out, then go down that road. Don't just go like, and we still need a comedic beat because we're not going to want to go down the cheesy route. It's like, you guys, what the fuck are you doing?
Also, if the boyfriend is jumping in to save the daughter, why doesn't he go in and save the other daughter? Why only one?
She floated around somewhere on her own. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That whole scene with the Mesosaurus, the big water dwelling thing. That was a really crazy, awesome, intense scene. Everyone got scattered throughout the shallows and everything. So yeah, I mean, I can go all day shitting on the family. Going back to the dinosaurs. So I'm all over the place, but I wanted to talk about the dinosaurs a little bit more. Jurassic Park, the very first Jurassic Park, 1994, 5. It was a technological milestone in how creatures were designed and shot, and the CG. I mean, I think Jurassic Park was the first textured CGI in a movie. 93. Jesus Christ, that movie still holds up. Mind you, they had years of working on the CG and making it look really good. But they did this thing, and I'll even give credit to Jurassic Park Dominion that we just recently watched, where, yes, of course, you're going to have CG, and it makes sense to have computer animated stuff. But for smaller creatures and for other moments, you want to ground the dinosaurs by at least having some puppet or animatronic, an actual practical thing that's there. And that does one of two things. One, the audience goes, oh, this is a real thing and it feels real. And so then when you next see the CG thing, you kind of translates into that connection. Two, for visual effects department to have like a reference of lighting and everything. That's not to say that the CG dinos looked bad. It looked really, really good. But I feel like they could have upped the level of the dinosaurs by having some of the practical things on set. I feel like they really missed their chance and mark on that.
I will say my favorite one out of all the dinosaurs is Dolores. This small little cute. I don't know what she was, but she's small and
Like a
cute.
mini Triceratops?
It was like a mixture of that, and it kind of reminded me of the one from Dominion, where it's like chained up when they're in the black market.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a Triceratops, like a baby Triceratops.
Yeah, but yeah. So I was just like, okay, that's cute, but where's Mama? Where's Mama in all this? Mama's not involved?
I thought that little dinosaur was going to be the baby of the D-Rex, and that's how they were going to save the day. In the end, it felt very obvious that was there for merchandise.
Yeah,
For merchandise.
they got it.
They totally got it.
They got me.
God, they totally got you. Yeah.
They got me. They're like,
Man.
we know this girl. She's going to want cute and fluffy, but she's not fluffy though. She's cute. So got her there. I think the whole movie. I'm like, good Dolores. Every time I was like, oh.
And that's the thing. That's what I mean by like it felt forced. They not only trying to wiggle some more heart by having the family there, not only having your given exposition with the mercenaries and, you know, I lost a friend, I lost a family member, we're real people. It's like, that's not how that works. You don't just have a sit down and get to have a bit of exposition like that.
I could have done it without that.
Well, it's not, no, I don't mean having to do without that, but there's a more organic way of doing that.
No, I understood what you said, but personally, I could have dealt without it.
How would you then have treated it?
Man, I had this all in my rewrite when we talked about this after the movie, and I can't remember anything anymore.
The other beats that I was talking about too is they know what worked in the original Jurassic Park and really tried to steal those moments. Obviously, there's something with Jurassic Park and the whole flare is and there needs to be a thing. That's how you save the day. Like that was very obvious. There was a straight stole from the first Jurassic Park of one of the dinosaurs like tapping its toe underneath kitchen countertop or whatever it was.
Communicating. Tip.
It's that they understood the movie magic that was the original Jurassic Park and they're trying to recapture that. And I resented it for it. Now, mind you, at the time, I hadn't seen Dominion and I was like, oh, Dominion tried to really do that in all of its heavy ways with legacy characters and everything. This one was a little more subtle. So after watching Dominion, I was like, okay, I can forgive some of it, but still. And another thing too was overusing the theme song. That's the one. They threw it into moments that didn't need it, and it felt cheated and it felt cheap. And I know movies are meant to manipulate emotions and reactions, but it's a magic trick, and you shouldn't be able to see the smoke and the mirrors and the strings.
I could tell you right now, it did not manipulate any emotions or anything for me.
Yeah.
Usually I'm like, oh, that's very sentimental. This one I'm just like, I just chugged a venti cold brew. Yeah, I'm sitting here. Let's get this going, guys.
Or what about when, I won't say, I'm not going to go major spoiler, but what about when they did have the balls and killed off a bigger character, and then they went, no, just kidding, he escaped. What? You guys, come the fuck on. Jesus.
As I was looking up like the cast and everything that we usually do before we talk about this movie, IMDb has this feature where it's like the featured reviews, and most of them it's like, honestly, first half, and I was like, whatever,
Yeah.
or like slow, terrible line, weird dinos, and you know, and then dinosaurs good, everything else man. I'm just I'm like, to be honest, you could have just made a whole dinosaur movie, like a documentary about this. You could literally made this movie as a documentary, and I would have been there. I'm like, tell me more about that mutated dinosaur. Tell me more.
Man, when we got dinner afterwards, or we got lunch afterwards, I kept pondering it over, and the words I kept repeating was, I don't know what this movie needed, but what we got in this one wasn't it. You know, it just, stuff like that shouldn't be so obvious, so forced.
And I felt like they could have picked a different cast for a lot of these characters.
Interesting. How do you mean?
Because you put them all on screen together, and some of them don't match with the chemistry of the others. Aesthetically, they don't kind of go with what I'm like, except for the mercenaries, I could feel you. And the scientists, I can feel you that, but like everyone else, even like, they just kind of don't go. And I think that also kind of offset me a little bit, which is fine. It's fine. But I think that's just my last take on it. Give me more Dolores. Give me more dinos.
No, don't.
Give me a documentary on it. Like, here's the thing. Jurassic Park franchise, whatever it is, it's not a me franchise where I'm like, yeah. But it is a thing where I'm just like, fucking dinosaurs, take me to a museum right now. This one didn't make me do that.
And they even nodded at that too with Bailey's character, who was adorkable, by the way.
Oh my God.
His character being a paleontologist, but straight from like a museum and museum shutting down and stuff.
I used to want to be a paleontologist.
Little fun fact that you showed me about Jonathan Bailey.
Yes, so he does play the clarinet, and for this one, they asked him if he wanted to play the clarinet with the orchestra. It's one of his bucket list and lifelong dreams to do something with an orchestra and play with an orchestra. Mm-hmm. He took the opportunity and they asked him that he said yes. He did it for his scene where when they walked.
Titanosaurs?
Those are the ones in the field, right?
Yeah.
I love those too. Those are so adorable as well.
Another moment that was forced and pulled from the original.
But that was him playing the clarinet. It was put in his scene when he's like, his character
really cool.
Had his like, this is what I've been studying the whole time.
He sold that scene.
His character is lovable, and I like it because he had this view from like a very scientific point of view of everything, but he appreciated every creature that was there. And it was like
somebody had to.
And it was like a once in a lifetime moment. He knew, like, even if I die in this mission, I at least accomplished something.
I would have fucking loved this movie if of all the dinosaurs, he gets squished by a titanosaur. By the way, I do actually have a favorite scene, and it is when they're trying to get one of the, it's not a pterodactyl, but like a pterosaur, one of the flying fucking creatures. Mm-hmm. It's a really intense climbing scene, so fuck my fear of heights. But it's when Jonathan Bailey's character, the doctor, he actually gets some balls finally, and there is a spoiler alert. He falls off the fucking cliff. He does survive. I'll allow it. And as he's kind of recovering from the fall, then everyone else makes their way down somebody comes down the stairs, someone else rappels down the mountain, and then the parachuted sample.
Jinx. Isaac.
Thank you. Floats down. I personally really like that scene. I don't think I've seen anything like that.
I feel like
I didn't hate the movie.
I feel like I've seen those scenes like mostly like in maybe animated stuff or like a show here or there. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I really have thoughts for this movie.
Same. This movie milked the Jurassic Park franchise. We milked talking about this fucking movie. And so we shall quickly move on to our penultimate segment that we call Why HST Gets Fresh. Every other episode, we guess the Rotten Tomato critic and audience score as well as giving our personal rating of the aforementioned movie, in this case, Jurassic World Rebirth. From 0 to 100, 59 and below being rotten, 16 and above being fresh. It's now Alba's turn to guess the Rotten Tomato score. And we will do that as soon as the song finishes. There we go. I went too fast. I always go too fast.
I forgot that I didn't do my in the beginning.
I was really hoping she forgot about that. Sorry, guys. Okay, starting.
Don't apologize for me.
I spit. Starting with your rating.
63.
63, so just above fresh.
Yeah, just for the dinosaurs. To be honest, my score is based off dinosaurs.
Okay, and then what do you think the critics rated it?
59.
And audience?
I gave it a 61.
For audience?
Yeah.
Pretty close on the critic, off on the audience.
Okay.
So the critics gave it a 52%. That is a rotten score. And the audience gave it a 72%.
No, not bad.
It's not bad. And I'm glad. This is one of the few moments where I felt like the audience was correct on its rating. Because it wasn't a terrible movie. It looked great. The beats were there. It's straight up a popcorn movie. You're going to have fun watching this movie. If you're a lover of the franchise, if you're a lover of Jurassic Park, the first one, this isn't going to be for you. It just feels, I said it all in the previous thing, but so the audience though, it is a good movie to get out of the heat and
I needed more.
Use free AC.
I needed more scares. Like, there's a dinosaur there and you're just like trying to hold your breath kind of thing. And I would have given it a little bit more higher rating.
And, and real quick, we didn't even talk about like the inconsistencies with like the dinosaurs are gonna fucking hear you, and then people are being loud. There's this whole scene with trying to get like a raft, and then there's a T-Rex there, and I'm like, the thing's gonna see you, the thing's gonna hear you. It's very fucking forced.
Yeah.
By the way, that whole raft scene is literally straight up pulled from the original Jurassic Park Michael Crichton book. And I'm like, where was that in the original movie? Like, we're getting the whole book. You know what?
You literally should just read the book. They should just read the book and just go scene for scene. Why not?
Exactly. That's exactly what the Jurassic Park franchise needs is a hard reboot and doing the original book scene for scene. I want to see that shit. There's a lot of movies coming out like Running Man and I think Starship Trooper where they're taking reference directly from the book.
They better.
Yeah. So I want to play a little penultimate game where I want you to guess the Rotten Tomatoes score for all of the Jurassic Park movies. All right.
Oh.
There's 6 of them. We're going to start with the very first Jurassic Park. What do you think people had rated that?
89.
Close, 91%.
Gotcha.
91%. That's the highest rated Jurassic Park movie of all the 7 movies. Jurassic Park, The Lost World.
I'm gonna go with 63.
Not bad. 53%. So it is a rotten score.
The third one, Jurassic Park 3. I go with 50.
49%.
Okay.
Not bad. Jurassic World. I'll give you a hint. It's the second highest rated Jurassic Park.
Okay. 80.
72%.
It deserves lower.
And the sequel for that one, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
43.
Super close, 47%.
Okay.
You're not bad on these. I'll give you some credit. And then the lowest rating, Jurassic World Dominion.
27.
29%.
Oh.
You are not terrible.
I did fall asleep multiple times in that movie.
Dude, you slept through like that. By the way, that movie is like 2.5 hours long.
I'm a napper.
Fucking A. Okay. All right. Last but not least, we are going to continue playing our movie trivia game.
Don't look at my screen. Don't cheat.
And just a refresher for those who didn't listen to the last episode, this is different from like a regular trivia where like, what happened in this movie? We are going to have 4 rounds, 2 rounds each, and we're going to give 5 actors, starting with a kind of the more obscure one. So we have a total of 5 points per round. If you guess it on the first actor given, you get 1 guess per actor. Then you get 5 points. And if you don't get that, you get the next one, 4, 3, 2, 1, so on and so forth, or 0 points if you cannot guess a movie by the end. Do you want to start with me?
Yeah.
All right.
Because we are tied.
Oh, yes, we are. 1-1. Go ahead. Hit me.
Okay. Ezia Gonzalez. I don't know how to say that name.
How you spell it?
Eiza Gonzalez.
Ooh. I don't know.
Okay. John Hamm.
I know John Hamm. Mm-hmm. Top Gun Maverick?
No. John Bernthal.
John Hamm, John Bernthal. Ford versus Ferrari?
No. Fuck. Lily James.
I know Lily James. Damn it, Alva.
Ansel.
Baby Driver.
Yeah. Thank you for not making me see the last name.
Yeah. And Ansel Yelchin?
No, it's like Elgort.
Ah, damn it.
I don't know.
That's 1 point for me, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Write it down.
Okay.
Write it down. 1 point for Isaac.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Now you're on next.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Not really.
Are you ready for this? Wayne Knight. By the way, a quick reminder: we told each other we're not going to show each other pictures. You cannot look up the actor, what they look like. So either you don't know the actor,
I
or
don't
you
know
do.
this.
Wayne Knight.
Oh my eye. I don't know this.
Richard Attenborough.
None of these names ring a bell.
I think at this point people are going to scream at the whatever you're listening through. For 3 points, Samuel L. Jackson.
Tropic Thunder?
For 2 points, Sam Neill. You're going to kick yourself on this one, by the way.
What was the name again?
Sam
No, I don't know.
Neill. And for 1 point, Jeff Goldblum.
Am I talking Jurassic Park? I got 1 point.
I think I've showed my hand. All right, you hit me with my movie.
All right. Oscar Isaac.
Ex Machina.
Nope. Albert Brooks.
Albert Brooks.
Yeah.
Dune.
No. Bryan Cranston.
Oscar Isaac. Bryan Cranston. Godzilla.
No. Carey Mulligan.
Oh, crap. Inside Llewyn Davis?
No.
No?
Ryan Gosling.
Oh. Drive.
Yeah. So you got 2 points.
Ooh. Carey Mulligan.
I had a theme.
Bryan Cranston. Cranston?
Cranston.
Nice. I was going to give you Godzilla, by the way, so, it's not the next one. But I didn't want to be mean because, I know, 3 of them you would for sure know.
Oh.
But then the rest of them, nah, I don't want to be a dick on those ones. Although, anyways. Okay, last round?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. For 5 points, Mads Mikkelsen.
Hot, but next.
Agreed. For 4 points, Felicity Jones.
Mads Mikkelsen, Felicity Jones. Hold on. Oblivion? No.
Good guess, but no. 3 points, Alan Tudyk.
That bitch is in everything.
Yeah, he is.
Respectfully.
Love him.
Oh, God. Mads Mikkelsen, Felicity Jones.
Much like
Alan
my porn searches, I love me some Tudyk.
Next.
For 2 points, Forrest Whitaker.
Don't go with that.
Die. This is one of those moments I wish we were on video.
Forrest Whitaker. Mads Mikkelsen.
At this point, people are screaming.
The Jurassic Park 3.
And for 1 point, I think we're going to tie it. You might guess this one. Diego Luna.
Rogue One.
Fuck! We're tied. God damn it.
So
son of a bitch. We're gonna fucking continue to tie this thing. You know what? I really thought I was gonna be really good at this game. Totally. I'm gonna fucking guess it at number 5. And I was fucking close. Great picks, by the way. I love your movie choices.
I like the themes, but the theme's only gonna last for so long. Next one, you're going down, bitch.
Not necessarily, because I mean, it could be a completely obscure movie unrelated to the movies that we're watching, or they could be a movie that the director of the movie that we talked about did, or maybe somebody that was in the movie did another. So there are kind of themes to it.
Oh, so you took a page from my book from last time we played
Dude,
it.
the Jurassic Park one was a fucking gimme. It was such a gimme. I was like, I'm kind of a dick because if she doesn't get this one, then shame on her.
Bitch, I don't know any people's names. You should know this.
All right, ready to wrap it up?
Yeah. I should have got it with
Should have.
I should have, because we did say Felicity. We were talking about Felicity Jones.
All righty. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We really do appreciate you. And once again, you can follow us on social media at
Why Just Pod
on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And if you like to support us in a monetary fashion, once again, you can do that on Venmo at
Why Just Pod.
And thank you for everyone for listening so far. Thank you for everyone who has been supporting us. Thank you in advance and in the future for those who decide to do that after listening to this. We highly appreciate it. It makes the whole thing a lot of fun. Please do communicate with us. Keep those conversations going in all the social media threads, and let us know what you liked about this movie, what you hated about this movie. Was I too harsh on it? Can you see my point of view? Especially, I want to kind of reiterate, didn't hate the movie. I just wish better for it. So in the meantime, please let us know what movies are on your growing list of films that has people asking you the question. You haven't seen that? I'll see you next week, folks.
Okay, bye.